Good evening, everyone. My name's Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Tuesday, October the 22nd, 2013, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary video brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. I want to first start off by taking a look to see how the indices closed the session out here for the day. The Dow closed up 75.5 points, the Nasdaq closed up 9.5 points. The S&P 500 closed up 10 points. If we take a look at the breadth on the market today, we had 4,202 issues advancing on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex. We had 2,157 issues declining on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex. Therefore, breadth was definitely in favor of the bulls today. Pretty much a 2-to-1 there in favor of the bulls. We take a look at the broad sectors across the board here. We had Microsoft down over 1%, Cisco was down a little bit as well. So was J.P. Morgan. We did have some decent action going across the sectors. There's a lot of strength in the consumer goods. Procter and Gamble up close to 2%. Pepsi, PEP, PepsiCo up over 1.25%. Johnson and Johnson, Amgen. So there's a lot of mixed action across the board to the top side. However, we did see some weakness in the financials a little bit in JP Morgan, again down 1.25%. Discover Card Financial was down over 3.5% on earnings. MetLife was a little bit weak today. State Street was a little bit weak today. Saw some weakness in some technology stocks, EMC, Cisco, NTAP, so some weakness in the data storage sector there. Texas Instruments came out. CRM also continued with some more weakness today, down 1.5%. Microsoft went down 1%. So again, there's definitely some action in the markets. You just have to make sure you're in the right sector. And the right sector today was the gold miners. And if you were in our room, mywallstreettv.com, the password to log in is smart. You have to make sure you go to the home page, wallstreettrading.com, and fill out the form on the right hand side to sign up for the 14-day free trial. But we were focusing on the gold stocks this morning. We mentioned GEG, Newmont Mining, all for the simple fact that the gold did take off as a dollar decline. Let me just go ahead and go to my second screen here. Take a look at the US dollar. We've been talking about the dollar weakness, and now you see the momentum is definitely starting to pick up to the downside in the US dollar. Take a look at the euro. We've been talking in our videos about the euro strength. So today, with this action, the market still held up kind of well, but we did see a little bit of selling pressure when the momentum in the dollar started selling off a bit there. We did see gold spike up right on the open of the gold futures market, and they continued into moving higher around 9:45 or so. Okay, the next momentum move came into the gold. So we're gonna take a look at all this stuff today, guys. Got a great video here for you all. Again, make sure you share these videos. Make sure you go check out our website, wallstreettrading.com. If you're interested in joining our prop firm, contact me for details at ccooper at wallstreettrading.com. And if you're interested in taking our education course, which has been doing very well for us, if you're looking to find some more details, you can send me an email or contact the info support via the contact us button on our homepage. In any case, let's go ahead and get this party started. Starting off with the S&P 500, the SPY ETF, which was up a dollar today, up over 0.5%. You can see how we're bumping our heads against this key black trend line right here. Notice how we have potential little minor topping tail from today. Notice how the body closed right at the trend line, and we had a little possible shakeout of the longs right here, and that could be a shakeout to suck them. That could be a shakeout where it looks like we're going to come back down tomorrow. We blast right back up, or this could be some little short-term profit taking going on since we are extended a little bit from this move down that we had from, let's see, what, 2 weeks ago. Right there, what day is this? This is on October the 9th. We made a low of 164.53, and now today we made a high of 175.93. So, a nice little 10.5 point move up or so there. If I did that math correct, it's been a long day. So SPY, be careful going long equities a little bit right here. Of course, the momentum is still to the top side. Notice the steepness of the trend lines and the moving averages here. All right, so we do have some nice momentum right here. Again, you want to, if you're establishing new long swing positions right here, you want to be careful. If you're a short-term trader, you can definitely look for those long trades and those short trades. If you're looking for a position trade to hold for a couple weeks, I would definitely wait for a pullback if you're looking to take a long. In any case, momentum is to the top side. I guess we have to continue to play the trend as long as it stays intact. And Make sure you pick your spots right. The solar stocks have been in play lately. We'll take a look at a couple of those names. Let's take a look at the ES because the ES did break some little upward trend line resistance that we have from this pivot high that we had made right here back in May to this pivot high that we made back here in mid-September. We're above that trend line, and as long as we can hold above 1740 or so, if this was to consolidate and trade sideways above 1740 and these moving averages catch up a bit, I think that would be buying some time for the market to digest these gains and then be looking for another move higher. If we go back below 1740, or better yet, I should say, if we chop around this area right here and we move back below 1740 on a big sell bar or something, then we could expect this to be a little bull trap, possibly up in this area above this trend line. Again, that's just a possible scenario that I'm mapping out. All right, but in the meantime, right now, the momentum is still to the top side. Just want to stay on your guards, make sure again you're trading the right sectors. Let's go and take a look at the triple Qs, the Nasdaq 100, which has been getting a nice lift thanks to Apple, which has been doing pretty well, along with Amazon and some of these other names, Google, and some of these other technology stocks. However, didn't really have that much action today. Opened up higher, gapped up a little bit, sold off, recovered pretty well off the high. So that's a good recovery off the lows. And we still are trending above these nice key short-term moving averages. We have our 5 and our 8 and our 20 both trending higher and moving up pretty nice and steady. Again, price has come a long way. We may need to wait and see some nice consolidation up here before we can expect a possible move higher. Which of course the trend is pretty up. The Nasdaq is is being, the Nasdaq and the technology stocks moving higher, I would say, are the catalyst for the market. Again, this nice little push up that we have been experiencing here for the past couple of days. Take a look at the IWM, the Russell 2000. Again, the Russell 2000 making its way towards the top of that channel that we've been highlighting to you guys here. Again, above this 50% trend line. If you guys draw this on your channels, it's pretty good. Remember, above the 50 bullish, below the 50 bearish, above the 50 bullish, below the 50 bearish. That's very helpful. In any case, the IWM still making its way up there to the top of the channel. The target is up here around, say, 112 and a quarter, 112 half maybe. But that is the target. I am expecting to hit the top of that channel. Then we'll see what happens from there. Again, even the IWM, of course, is trending up pretty nice on those moving averages, on the short-term, fast moving averages here. I did not get to take a look at the NASDAQ proprietary channel analysis system. Want to take a look at that to see. And what do you know? We broke out. And this was like a little shakeout down here near the bottom, and we're moving higher. All right, interesting. Put this on the 2-year real quick, 2-year daily. All right, so everything is moving to the top side. Looks pretty good. All right, let's take a look at the Dow Jones. I want to take a look at the Dow via the DIA ETF, which has not yet made new all-time highs. So the Dow Jones is showing a little bit of relative weakness. Has not been able to make new all-time highs like the S&P 500 and the IWM, and the momentum that the Nasdaq has been getting as of lately has not been transferring to these Dow Jones stocks. And a lot of that has to do with earnings season, of course, being here, and some of these companies not reaching analyst expectations. However, it is making its way back up. It is back inside this little yellow band area which I have, which is a supply zone. Little minor topping tail today, but keep an eye on the 154 level on the DIA, and then we do have some support from these moving averages that are coming up right here around 153 anyway. But again, this could be a little short-term signal for a little sideways action to come or a little pullback to come. If we break over today's highs of 154.89, look for this 155, 156 area to come in play again. All right, so where's the action at? Well, what's all this action going on in the basic materials sector? All this buying pressure we've been receiving lately. If you guys have been watching these videos, you know we've been all over this megaphone pattern on the dollar index ever since this action was over here. Just so happens we're now getting to our target. We've been looking for this weakness to come since back here in July, and of course it's been chopping around all the FOMC statements and all this quantitative easing taper pullback and all the government shutdown stuff has definitely not given any confidence in those looking to trade the dollar or buy the dollar, I should say, and the dollar is moving lower. We still have some more downside action, whether it be from the bottom of the megaphone pattern, this blue dash trend line, or from the bottom of this original trend line we had from this little downward slope channel that we had back here in July, August, and some of September, and that target's down here towards 78.50. So I do think we have another leg down, some more momentum selling to come in the dollar. Let me see, do we have any key economic reports coming out this week. So the dollar is definitely looking weak. Let's see, we have international trade tomorrow. We have import export, FHA housing, durable goods orders. So we do have a lot of data coming out this week that could definitely affect this dollar, and I think that's going to cause for some more weakness here. We'll see how that plays out. If you take a look at the Euro USD, this one has been on fire. We've been talking about looking to get long the euro, trading the euro to the long side. That idea has been working out for those that have been following our analysis. And the euro is looking for another momentum move higher. Take a look how it's trading in our proprietary channel analysis. Have a nice little up move, nice little flag right here in the channel. It breaks out, flags again right on top of the prior channel, and then breaks out and gives you a nice little powerful momentum move right here. Again, guys, we provide this analysis to those that come in our chat room, mywallstreettv.com. Password to log in is smart. If you want a 14-day free trial, you have to make sure you go to the website wallstreettrading.com and sign up for that. And this analysis right here kept us bullish on the commodity or that space, those precious metals. All right, some of the growth commodities such as crude oil have been acting a little bit weird. They have not been getting any catching a bid off that dollar weakness. But if we take a look at the gold futures, ooh, this thing's up close to 2% today, and it's looking to try to make its way back inside that channel that we broke down out of right here back in May. Then we had that little inverted cup and handle pattern that broke down. Then we had another little cup and handle pattern right here that broke out, pulled back in, broke right back below the neckline, which it shouldn't have done, and now it's trying to get back over this key level. So if gold, guys, makes its way back above 1355 or so, we could get a nice little pop in gold and have a nice little momentum move in gold to come. I don't want to say it's coming quite yet. I want to look for some more analysis, but this does. If you look at the daily chart here, this is a nice little up bar, nice little two bar pullback bull flag, and looking for that move up. So we take that measured move, maybe take it from this little low right here, and then look for that another measured move up. We're talking about, say, 1250, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, $70 increments, breaks out. 70 plus 1320 takes it up to 1390. So measured move, if it plays out correctly, takes it to 1390, which also comes close to that little 1414 area of resistance that we had back here. So interesting analysis there. Again, the gold miners have been on fire. They've been actually catching a decent bid lately. GDX looking like it wants to go back over here towards 2850, looking pretty good. Still has some moving averages right here, but still, again, looking pretty good. What else? GDXJ, the gold mining juniors. All right, those names have been performing pretty good as well. All right, GDXJ. This target on this one's going to be up here towards, say, 43, about 2.25 higher. And then we have some gap fill action back here around 44, 45, and 46 or so. All right, if you're looking at trading some gold mining stocks, you want to make sure you take a look at GG, some of the classic ones that a lot of people like to trade. Take a look at GG. Looks pretty good, right? We talked about these, 3 or 4 days ago. Newmont Mining, NEM, looking pretty good. They have earnings coming out pretty soon too, so be careful with that. AUI, Yamana Gold, looks interesting. Some of the cheap ones, since the gold mining juniors are trading pretty well. HL Hecla Mining, this one looks good, guys. Nice little entry down here for a swing. This thing can make a nice move. Notice how you have a nice little rounding bottom coming into play. Again, we're looking at sectors that are in play based on macro analysis, or you could just say just looking at rotation pretty much. I know some of you guys like to look at the high flyers, but again, these are the ideas that money managers put their money into, so they can hold the trade for a couple of weeks to months. They're looking for those real sector rotations. Possible little inverted head and shoulders play coming into that one on HL. I also saw a nice little inverse head and shoulders pattern that could be in play on ABX down here, your left shoulder, your little head, little right shoulder neckline being around, say, 21 or 2150 or so. Again, one of these patterns looks even better. Was the Newmont Mining? No, not the Newmont Mining. Was the GG? Nope. Let's see, you have AEM as well. This one's looking interesting. It has earnings, looks like tomorrow after the close. So again, just keep an eye on the sector, folks. Looks good. What else? What else was I going to look at here? Crude oil. Let me take a look at silver futures here real quick. Silver futures warming up. I like how silver is looking, guys. It's set up pretty nice in my channel analysis. So, SLW, which I didn't look at with you guys when I was looking at those miners here just a minute ago. This thing looks good. Why? Look, the little range, yellow band range it broke out of. Notice how it's trading nice and tight in my channel analysis right here, our big channel. And so this is like an up move, sideways channel, right? And now we're gonna be looking for this thing to take off here. If this thing breaks over these little, these top of these little red bars right here, these sell bars, around 23 and a quarter or so, look for this thing to start making its way back up towards, I would say, 24. Okay, looks pretty interesting. And let's go ahead and take a look at the SLW. SLW up 3.5% today. Looks pretty good. Let's see. Still has some little trend line resistance that it needs to break through right there. You can take a look at EXK. Looks good. Take a look at CDE and PAAS. These are some silver mining stocks. Again, they're up, a lot from the past couple of days. They could have some more momentum depending on, how fast that dollar continues to go down and how fast people look to buy these type of stocks or names, I should say. So keep an eye on them. USO for crude oil. Actually, let me take a look at the crude oil futures real quick. Again, crude oil futures back around this 98 level, I think is pretty interesting. However, it looks like it may want to go through 98. If it goes through 98, that would not be good, I would say, because look, you had your prior breakout, your resistance area broke out, so now it should act as support. And this thing looks like it's selling hard, and it looks like it wants to break through 98. So if it breaks through 98 and it starts to work its way back in this little demand zone, all right, you want to be watching this 94 level. I do think that 98 would give you a little play. I do think you could trade off this 98 level. However, the way this par looks right now, I would actually give it a couple days. It may chop around here for a second, then give you some bottoming signal where you could catch a little quick trade back to the top side. As again, we just had a nice little kind of inverted head and shoulders breakout here on crude at 98. So this should be a retest of prior resistance, now support. But again, that could all change if it comes back in this little demand zone. So keep an eye on this 98 level on crude oil going forward for the next couple of days, if not next couple of weeks or so. But looks pretty good. What else here? The volatility index, the VIX. Right, the VIX is back below 16, better yet, back below 19. Once again, does not fail. Every time the VIX gets above 19, they just smack it right back down, folks. Of course, we know we're in a bull market and the market's moving to the top side. So that's, I guess you could say afterwards, it's not a surprise, even though they did have enough catalysts or enough market scare with the whole government shutdown to try to get people to buy some volatility, which I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure some people got stuck being long vol, but that's the name of the game, right? So the VIX is back in this little demand zone. Remember, they were buying it back down here in this little range between 13 and 12. They bought it again right here. So we want to see what it does in this area. If we break below 12, obviously, we're going to be looking for some more selling pressure, and the markets most likely will be at new all-time highs. That means just there's no fear in the market. Nobody's scared right now. Everybody wants to just buy equities, which is not a problem. As long as you're trading the right stocks, you should be fine. So let's go ahead and talk about some stocks. I know I just went through the whole market, pretty much like a little market weekend review video. But that's what you have to do in this market to be prepared. So let's go and take a look at some names. Apple, AAPL, pretty much a flat day. They have earnings coming out next week, Monday, and so far they've been running the stock into earnings. I would not be doing nothing with this right now, just because of the fact you don't want to, take any positions going on, in front of earnings, which is just a couple days away. But looks pretty good. It's an uptrend. Looks like it's trying to recover pretty nice. Weekly chart looks interesting. The month, so does monthly. Netflix had stellar earnings. If I'm not mistaken, let's see here. Yeah, they reported good earnings, but they sold the stock off. I'm not sure if it was for the guidance or whatever the case was, but this stock got smoked today, guys. I'm talking about $67 range. Yikes! This is definitely not pretty, and I would not be surprised if it comes back down to say 290. Again, it may chop around this area. If you're trading Netflix, I would not be so fast to get short this because this is a big drop. Some people may deem this as a nice little pullback to get into a nice little growth stock. All right, nice little growth company here. But again, if it starts to form like a little bear flag or starts to chop around in a couple of days, in the lower 50% of this range, then I would look for another leg down. But I would not be all excited about going in tomorrow and shorting this name. I think it's going to have to chop around here a bit before it tries to decide what it wants to do next. All right, so just keep the stock on your watch list for a couple of days. Don't trade it quite yet because now it needs some time to digest this move today, and you want to see what how the investors and how the sentiment in the stock, how it is going forward. J.P. Morgan, see what good old J.P. Morgan's doing. Was down close to 1.25% here. Um, it did break past this 52 level. As long as it can hold above 52, that's pretty good. But if it doesn't hold above 52, may try to come back inside this little range that we have right here. Let me take off these studies, take off these old drawings so you can see the chart a little bit cleaner. Let's go ahead and delete all the drawings. No, I don't delete all the drawings. I'll hide them. All right. So if it comes, if it breaks back below, I would say 53, that's when I'll be worried. Aside from that, it's kind of been trading this little range between 50 half and 52, 53. So this was a breakout right here. So if it does come back to 52.89 or so, as long as it holds that level, this could be a little potential pullback for a move back up. We'll see. But right now was not a good day today. You have a little outs. You have a little wide range bar to the downside here. Closed dead on the lows. Bank of America held in there today. Pretty much a flat day in that name. Uh, Again, not much there. Goldman Sachs is going to take a look at this bad boy. Goldman Sachs looks like it's having trouble breaking above the 50% trend line of our major channel. You guys see that? And that's why I tell you guys to draw a 50% trend line. Because once you were able to get this point, and this area, everything forward from here was pretty much could be traded around the channels. And you can see they sold the top of the channel, they bought the bottom of the channel, they sold the top of the channel, they bought the bottom of the channel, and now we're having trouble at the 50% median line of the channel. And this is part of my channel analysis system, which is much more than it's much more than just drawing 50% trend line, but this is kind of the basis around my whole little system and strategy that I use on different asset classes. But in any case, Goldman Sachs, keep an eye on this high back here around 162.50. And if it starts to hang, if it continues to hold in the lower 50% range of the channel, the market starts to get weak. Look for this maybe to possibly start rolling back over towards the 154 area. Again, we'll see how it plays out. Needs some more time to tell. Solar stocks have been in play. FSLR, nice move in FSLR. Again, it has come a long way pretty fast. May need to cool off a bit and may need to set up for a move over 56 here, but looking pretty good. SPWR, another solar company, looks pretty good. They have this one has earnings coming out next week on the 30th. Take a look at WFR, another solar stock. Take a look at CSIQ. Then you have LDK. CSIQ looks good. LDK, which is garbage. Then you have TSL, strong. Then you have SCTY. All right, looking like it can make a nice move tomorrow after having a nice little shakeout today. Take a look at the 50-minute chart. Yeah, looks interesting. Keep this one on your radar for tomorrow. And then nice looking 60-minute chart. So solars are in play. That's where a lot of the momentum's at. All right, the biotechs, they have some momentum in them as well. Amgen up 2.25% today. Seeing a lot of action in the home builders. Toll Brothers up 2.5%. Still needs to catch some momentum, but looking like it's trying to hold this little area down here around 30. So it could start lifting off. Nice candlestick on the chart today. Lennar, nice little candle action. You have an up move, little 2-bar pullback with a shakeout candle up. Looks good. And KBH looks pretty good as well. A little inside day. We'll have to see this one could break out over this 1740 area sometime this week. Aside from that, folks, a lot of more analysis, a lot of more charts we could take a look at. I'll be here forever if I was to do that. Have a great day. Make sure you come check out the chat room, mywallstreettv.com. A lot of great trades we called out today. A lot of traders participating in the room. Come and show us what you got, or come and join our firm. Show us what you got. Have a great day, folks. Cheers.